Hi, I'd like to show you how to take quizzes in Beachboard since you'll be doing this on a weekly basis for this class. You'll come over to the quizzes tab on the navigation bar and see each quiz listed. As you can see from here, you'll be taking a quiz following every lecture. But let's go ahead and look at the bonus quiz. Although you can use the drop-down arrow to look at what's going on, first, since we have not attempted this quiz, let's go ahead and take the quiz by clicking on the link. If the quiz hasn't started, you can always hit update if it hasn't got a start time listed. This one's estimated to take 30 minutes. None of them really take 30 minutes. We've just listed that. But I can go ahead and start the quiz. Now you'll have different types of questions every time. In this particular one, you only have 3 questions and they're all listed on the same page, but you can jump from individual question to individual question by choosing the number or scrolling up and down within the page or arrowing over other pages. There is a clock that will be counting down once you start the quiz, but at this point I haven't started yet. So let's go ahead and say that I only answer the first question. Math 115 consists of the following parts. Question 1, only a 2-hour activity, none of the answers listed here, only a 50-minute lecture twice a week, or both 50 minutes of lecture twice a week and 2 hours of activity session. So obviously that's the correct answer here. It clicks saved and I've got a check mark for number 1. Let's say I just accidentally hit submit quiz now. Don't worry, you're safe. It will stop you and say, hey, warning, you've got 2 unanswered questions, and you can choose to go back, or you can even click on the link. The main point of this video, though, is to show you how to hit equations for your answer. In this problem, type the following equation, actually it's an expression, not an equation, into the answer box using the equation palette as taught in this video. The equation palette is not visible in the answer box. You first have to come to the far right corner and choose the 3 horizontal dots. And now you have the Greek symbol sigma, the summation symbol, available. And don't even worry about all of the different options that are available. Just click on the symbol itself. Now, most of the time you'll be asked to solve a problem and type your answer into the answer box. So you'd be looking at your piece of paper. In our case, we're lucky. There's a faint view of the expression I'm supposed to type in, but on the next one I'll have to write it on a piece of paper. Now hopefully you would recognize I want to start typing in the top of this fraction. I just want you to type this in identically as you see it. So we would first need to choose the fraction option, and because the cursor is flashing in the numerator, I can go ahead and type 5x with my keyboard. And don't use any keyboard keys to get the exponent. Go ahead and choose the exponent option. And it's a superscript, which in this case, I guess you could use the control up. But notice it doesn't come with the X. Only the superscript is in green. So that's the piece we're adding. And now I can hit my 2 to get squared. I could hit the down arrow to get to the denominator, or I could just move my mouse and click in the denominator. Now I need the square root of x. If I type x first and then the square root symbol, x isn't here. So I'm going to delete that x, and really I should have hit the square root symbol, and now I can go ahead and put my x. Since this looks identical, I'll go ahead and hit insert. Now notice it doesn't say saved. I don't have a check mark yet. It's not until you click somewhere out of this box that it will be saved. Again, if I accidentally hit submit quiz, I hope I would see that I only have 2 of 3 questions solved. But if not, I would hopefully see the warning and go back to finish the 3rd question. For this particular one, you do have an equation, and it needs to begin with p of x, and it has some parentheses and exponents of exponents if you want to look at it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and hand write this down. Okay, I got it. And again, to go to the palette, now notice I could get started on this one, p parenthesis x equals parenthesis 7x. I don't know if there's a superscript option here, but there's going to be a lot of things later through the semester where you're not going to want to do that. And even though I know in email, some people will type to the fourth power minus 9x, because you're being graded on form, we don't want to use that process here. We want to use the equation palette. So again, to my 3 horizontal dots, choose the sigma section. And again, this is where I was saying in this case it got cut off. So I had P, oops, it's a capital P, right? I don't know, you'd be marked off for that. Now notice you do have parentheses, so I could put the X there and arrow over so I can hit equals. I could also just type a single parenthesis using my keyboard, and this will work too. The equation was 7x to the 4th power. This time be careful, because if I now type minus 9x, notice that's in the exponent. So after I have my 4, if I use the right arrow or the down arrow, the cursor is now the length of the section, and I can type in 9x. Be careful that I don't want to type the parenthesis, right? Because I already started my own parenthesis, so I need to hand type an end parenthesis. But again, I can use the exponent of 3, and you can even have exponents on exponents, but that won't get me full credit. So I need to delete that, and I can hit insert. No check mark yet, but generally you should be okay, because you probably would have scrolled down to hit submit quiz, and as soon as you hit it, it would have saved it. Quiz submission confirmation, you're about to submit your quiz. There is no warnings, so I will go ahead and submit. My attempt ended here. Feel free to take a screenshot if you want some sort of personal proof. And it'll take me back to the attempts. Now notice my score is dash or blank out of 3, because a lot of these quizzes have to be hand graded, and I cannot see what I typed once I submitted it, and I will not have a grade in my grade book until it's been hand graded. Hope that helps you taking quizzes the rest of this semester.